A pair of those bearings cost over $200. They are the cold bearings from the Campagnolo. You can see here set of bearings and seals coat. If you know Campagnolo, you'll know that the bearings are actually pressed on to the crankset and then put into the bottom bracket shells. Let's open those up. And this is the crankset right here that needs replacing. Let's do this white glove style. And ideally you'll get yourself this tool from Park Tool. It's the CBP8 Campagnolo crank and bearing tool sets. This especially goes for the removing part, unless you have like one of those remover arms already. But of course you want to be careful because those cranks are pretty expensive and pretty shiny, fancy carbon. Then what you'll need in addition to this is an 8mm hex key, and then you're good to go. Take this tool, put it over the crank right here, and then of course get new seals, but just be careful anyways to not get under the seals here, but really onto the bearing only. It's really nice about this tool, you can screw those in so the arms will be held in place firmly. And this is really important. Of course, you can do this before you put the tool on. Bear in mind that we have like a securing ring right here that of course you'll need to disengage before tightening the tool. But this should be pretty easy because that's a securing ring basically holding bearing in place. You can then push it up with the bearing with the tool. Now grab your 8mm and just begin tightening it, of course. And then you'll hear the sound, the click sound, kind of another sound, the sound of the bearing clearly moving. Then it should be getting pretty easy because down here we have a tiny amount of a thicker diameter where the bearing sits, and then you can just basically pull it off by hand. So here we have the old bearing, pretty messy, dirty. Let's put the new ones on. Of course, first go ahead and clean the surface and remove any remaining dirt so we have a clean surface to work with. The new bearing can sit on nicely. Also remove the old seal, of course. There we go, nice and clean. Now I will put a bit of silicone spray on it. New seal on. There we go. And then what Park Tool suggests are to put on the new bearing. Take this crank bearing installation tool, and you see the surface over here. This is meant for a hammer, but as those are $200 cold bearings, my intention is not to hammer those on. I will of course look for a more subtle way to install those bearings. First of all, I will apply some ceramic specific grease, and I will also cover the new bearing in this grease a little bit. So it's just prepared for all kinds of nasty weather out there. Be sure we have this kind of seal here, which will go onto the cranks, because we have this like plastic thing right here, which will go the other way. The thing is that this is not a seal per se. This is just a thing to hold the bearings in place. If you can actually remove it, but I wouldn't recommend it because then you risk to have all the bearings in a totally disordered fashion. So just keep it in place. Nicely grease up your bearings with ceramic specific grease, put them on as I told. So this is my approach right here. Funny thing is that the bearing doesn't actually need that much force to go on, so I won't be hammering it on with this tool, although this is nice because of the diameter, which is of course exact. This is a Wheels Manufacturing bearing press, and you see I just put an adapter right here, the other right here, and then those cylindrically shaped metal tubes that will then just push the bearing softly on to the cranks. Actually that works really nicely, and also you'll know when to stop. You won't go a millimeter further, which I can't say for the hammering method because you probably will put down one beat too much once you know it's on, and then just for security you go another one. Right now we have a really smooth bearing. This method I believe is the best. It's a bit of a pity that Park Tool suggests hammering it on like this, because you also see that it covers almost all of the bearing. However, with my method it covers all of it and pushes it down simultaneously, outer and inner race. So let's go on and we put on the securing ring again, which is also pretty straightforward. Just see like that with your fingernails, you can push it down pretty easily. Still spins like a dream. Of course, here we are lucky we have the hole as well. Of course, you're going to ask the question, how are you going to do it with the 12-speed cranks which are covered right here? In that case, of course, you might use the hammer method, or you can try and put it in a vise or some kind of device like that. Put something to protect here, like some sort of cardboard or even thicker, and be sure that the vise really has like a soft jaw, and then really cover it well. Then you just can basically really push it on with the vise and with a really nice dosage, because here with the hammer you just see you risk to damage your really expensive bearings. So I hope this video helped you a lot. Bearings are on. I will do the next crank arm myself. I think you've already seen it, how it's done. On this side we don't have a securing pin, so you can just go on and remove it as before with this removal tool. Then enjoy your new bearings. I hope they run smooth and are long lasting. Thank you for watching this tutorial, and I'll see you in the next one. A little bonus material for those of you who stick around until the end. Absolutely insane how those spin. Freshly out of the box. Cold bearings. State of the art, I would believe. Like ceramic speed actually. And ceramic speed, how much are they? I don't know. Leave the price in the comment section below. I really see you in the next one.